What's going on, guys, and welcome back to the Gould's Gaming and Tech channel. We're here with another video, you guys. This is requested by you, the viewers, and some of my peers, friends, associates, all that good stuff. But I'm getting so many people asking me, yo, should I buy a Tesla? Should I buy a Tesla? And I'm going to answer that simple question today. Should you buy a Tesla in 2023? Before we get into that, if you're new to the channel and you like any of this content, make sure to hit that subscribe button. It's definitely appreciated. And if you're new or returning, make sure to hit that like button. It's definitely appreciated as well. So without any further ado, we're gonna dive right into it. I get a lot of questions, man. People asking me, yo, should I buy a Tesla? What's so great about a Tesla? The main thing they want to know is, should they buy a Tesla? Definitely now, of all times, 2023. There's so much moving parts, many things going on right now. So we're gonna break down why you should or you shouldn't buy a Tesla on these factors right here. Now, it's going to be a lot of things that kind of go into this, so it's going to be specific to you individually. So if this applies to you, you're going to see the reason why. So we're over here on the Tesla website. The main thing I want you guys to look at first, before we even click on the car, at the top, it says $3,750 to $7,500 tax credit available for the Model 3. Learn more. Let's look at that. And this is for the Model Y as well. They both have the same tax incentive. So we're going to read a couple lines in this. It says, incentives listed here are provided for your convenience only and should not be considered an absolute and complete list, and it is not guaranteed that of your personal eligibility or the incentives availability or requirements. These programs are subject to change or end at any time and are outside of Tesla's control. So it's basically they're getting these incentives from the government. It's not in their control. Basically, the government grants money every year saying, hey, sell this many cars or reach this certain amount and you will get this incentive, and in turn the consumer, the buyer, they get that the benefit of that incentive. So that's what it is basically. And it says your eligibility for any tax credits depends on your personal tax situation. We recommend speaking with a tax professional for guidance. So that's a big thing there. You could see this tax, incentive, but you may not be eligible for it, for one, and two, you may not be eligible for the highest amount for this tax incentive. So it's very important to, assess your taxes or get with your tax person or whatever the case is and say, hey, am I eligible for this tax credit? And if so, do you think I will be able to get the maximum incentive for this tax credit? So that is the first thing I would say you guys should do. Number two, well, flip that to number two. Number one, are you even in the market to buy a car? Are you in the market to buy a car? And then let's move number two again to number three. Number two, instead of the tax credit, number two is, are you okay with going from gas, because most people have gas, to electric? It's a big shift, big change. I know, personally speaking, it's a big change. And just the optics of, oh man, your car drives on electricity. What? What if the battery dies? Oh Lord. You treat it like gas, it's the same thing. But anyways, so we're on the Tesla website right here. And as you can see, I clicked on the main website. The Model Y and the Model 3 are available for up to a $7,500 tax credit. So another thing, let's click order. We're going to just pretend, we're going to do a mock scenario. Okay, as you can see, the tax information is up top, the tax credit, the delivery window. So one thing to pay attention to is these potential savings and purchase price tabs right here. Now, potential savings is what they estimate you could save by getting an electric vehicle. Is it guaranteed? No. Will that number happen? No, most likely. It's all dependent on you for the most part, that tax credit and all that other stuff. What the main thing I would say is look at the purchase price. That's what you're going to be basing all of your deposits, your down payment. You're going to be basing it all off that purchase price, because when you're purchasing it and going through the buying process, they're not going to say, hey, you only have to give us this much because the potential savings price is, no. The purchase price is what you have to base all your finances off of. So let's say the Model Y, it's in the middle, the Model Y long range. We won't do performance or the regular Model Y because I want this to be, as accurate as possible. So with the Model Y, you get 330 miles of range. That's great, but it starts off at $50,000. You're thinking, oh, I can afford a $50,000 car. Cool. There's other options. Tesla likes to sprinkle in some goodies. And we're going to go into those goodies, because once you start looking at the goodies, your eyes get big. You're like, oh man, I like this. And when you get to the end, you see the price. You're like, oh Lord. Remember, it's 50 grand right now. 50. So then you have these color options. Oh, you got white, it's included, but it's so plain. My favorite color is red. I want red. Ooh, yeah. Red. An extra $2,000. So you click on red, you go on to get the extra $2,000. You're like, I can afford $2 extra grand. Maybe I'll, do some extra work, whatever. Or you got it saved up. I can do $2 extra grand. Cool. It works. You're up to 51,000. Not bad. You see these stock wheels on here. You be like, I don't really like those wheels. I mean, they don't really match with the rest of the car. It's a lot of red and black. What's this other button right here? Oh, look, I get black wheels. It goes with the other accents, black and red. Oh man, guess what? It's an extra $2,000. So you're like, I can swing an extra $4 grand because of the color and the wheels. I can do this. All right, cool. Keep going. Tow hitch, I'll just not click on this because I don't think many people are looking for the Model Y to, be towing a lot of things. So I'll just not click that. But the interior, you get to the interior. Let's see. Oh, let's scroll down. Here we go. You got the interior. You got the black outside. So say you want to keep the black inside, but then what does this white look like? Oh man, that looks so white. Black, red, and white. It goes so well together. So say you want that. Oh, it's only $1,000. I can do that. Cool. So then you go down to the seating layout. Wait a minute, I can get a 5 or a 7-seater. Wait a minute, I am getting an SUV. My family's kind of big. I got like 4 kids, and then my wife or husband, whatever the case is. Maybe I want that extra 2 seats or whatever. So you do that. You see the extra seat in there, 7-seat, view 3rd row. You see the 3rd row. You got a 3rd row in there now. Oh man, you got some extra seats back there. That's good. So you're like, yeah, I'll take the extra seats. But no, it's $4 grand. I'm a little bit uncomfortable with that. I'll keep it to 5. Completely reasonable. So then you scroll down. You have advanced autopilot, $6 grand. Wait a minute. It comes with a regular autopilot, but then you can get advanced autopilot for $6 grand. But wait a minute. What's full self-driving? You see the full self-driving is $15,000. You get a lot of features like, the car being summoned to you. You got auto steer on most streets. It'll switch lanes for you. It'll make turns for you. You can summon the car to you. It can park itself. It can do a lot of those things. But say, that's a lot of money. I don't want to tack on 15 grand to this bill. So maybe I'll just only do advanced autopilot because I like some of those features, but I don't need it all. That's perfectly reasonable. You get the advanced autopilot. And then you have the charging. Wait a minute. I need to charge this. I can't not charge this besides the superchargers. So say you want a wall connector or mobile connector. But like, all right, I'm already 10 grand over what I said I wanted. So, all right, I'll just do the regular mobile connector, okay? So then you're at 60 grand. You go to continue the payment, and now you're at 62 with, destination fees and order fee and all that stuff. So that's if you pay cash. If you want to lease it, guess what? $708 a month. And if you want a loan, $950 a month. Basically $1,000. And you only have to pay $480 today. So that's a thing you have to realize is you have all these options when you go to order a Tesla, as you can see. And it starts to pile up. It starts to add up. And if you can afford those things, that's great. But if you want to sit down and dissect all the ins and outs of buying an electric vehicle, definitely a Tesla, you're going to have to account for all these things. Now, again, that's why I say pay attention to the purchase price and not the potential savings, because you see this breakdown right here. If you pay cash, it doesn't say potential savings vehicle price. It says vehicle price. It's based off of, the actual purchase price of the car. So you got to look at all those things. And then when you sit down, before we get to the Model 3, because it's similar. So I'm not going to go too in depth with the Model 3 because it's basically the same price. But when you sit down, a couple things you need to factor in. You need to kind of assess. How much do you pay now for your car payment? If you're making a payment, if your vehicle's not paid off already, how much are you paying now? And how much was your monthly price for this Tesla cost? So if they're about the same, or if the Tesla is lower, you're good to go. If it's higher, that's something you got to weigh in. Could you afford to, dish out a few extra bucks? That's one thing. Another thing, are you okay? And I said this earlier. Are you okay with going from gas to electric? A lot of people, they're so stuck on gas cars. They're like, dude, what if that thing runs out of charge? What am I going to do? The gas station's right there. It's fine. You treat it like gas. If your battery's getting low, you go charge it. Granted, you don't have as many charging stations as you do gas stations, but the Tesla charging network is the best of all electric vehicles, so there's more than likely going to be a charger or supercharger station somewhere relevant to you. And again, these cars can plug up into a regular wall outlet, so you'll be fine. Another thing is, are you an impatient person? Because I'll tell you now from experience, Charging a Tesla, say you charge them from 5 or even 10% to 90 or 100. At minimum, you're going to be sitting there for 30 minutes. So as opposed to, putting gas in a car, it takes about 5 minutes. Even if you're on E, it takes about 5 minutes. A charger is going to take about 30 minutes. So if you're impatient, that might not be the move for you. Keep in mind, Tesla gives you a wide range of entertainment in your center display, so you'll be entertained. But as far as road trips are concerned, every time you have to stop and charge, it's going to take you a minimum of 30 minutes. You just have to calculate that into your travels. But is that something you're okay with? Not a lot of people are. So you have to weigh all those things in. So now let's go back. We're going to go to the Model 3. And I'm only going over these because I've been seeing tons of headlines saying, hey, Tesla again has reduced the price of the Model 3 and the Model Y. And the reason why they're doing this, I don't know if you guys know, but the Tesla stock is kind of going down, taking a downward turn, and it's not as high. So to offset that, Tesla is, of course, smart business model. They're reducing the price of these cars because they still want to push them out. They want to push them out. They want to give them out. Or not give them out. They want to sell them. But they have to reduce those prices to keep getting these vehicles sold so they can meet their status quo. So that's why you're seeing a reduction in the price and all these incentives and stuff. Again, with the Model 3, we're going to go with, because the long range is unavailable, we're going to go with a regular Model 3 rear wheel drive. One thing you got to consider, it only gets 272 miles max charge, and that's what it says on paper. In actuality, with drag, weather conditions, how you drive, all that stuff, you're not really going to get 272 miles. I'm just letting you guys know. Just so you are aware, $39,000, but with potential savings is $31,000. But we're going to pay attention to the purchase price. Now, and another thing you have to realize is how much are you spending on, vehicle maintenance with your personal car. That's something that you can sit down and kind of assess between the Tesla and the car you have now. But say you want a Model 3, you don't want the red. Say you're okay. You're in the middle. You want the blue. It's an extra grand. Do you like these wheels on here? Say you do like them because the white kind of looks weird. You'll keep the aero wheel caps. It's free. It's included. But say you want to upgrade the interior. And I've seen, the only reason I'm upgrading on this one because I've seen the color combos with most Teslas. A lot of people do the blue and the white inside. So we're going to upgrade it to the white. It's another $1,000. Advanced autopilot. Let's see. Say since you're getting the regular rear wheel drive, you're not getting any extra specs, you'll do the advanced autopilot. Sure, why not? So then, you don't need the auto steer. You want a wall connector because you want, get the most out of this car. And you continue the payment. Remember, it was $39,000. Now it's almost 10 grand more. It's $47,000 or $49,000 with these fees. So you went from paying 40 grand to 50 grand. That's something you got to pay attention to. And again, you're only paying $675 right now, but when it's time for that car to get delivered, that's when you pay the rest. You have to have all those things in order. But I'll bring this home with this last statement, okay? Because I don't want to hold you guys too long. I know you got things to do. To answer the question, should you buy a Tesla in 2023, yay or nay? I will say no for this sole reason right here. I have a Tesla. I've been trying to look around, not for my own reasons, but just research purposes only, really. Just to see, what's the interest rates now with auto loans, if you're going to take out a loan. And from what I've seen, the lowest, and I've called a couple banks, the lowest I've been quoted, and I have good credit. So it's not like I'm getting a bad interest rate based on my credit. I have pretty good credit, so I can get whatever their best interest rate is offered. The lowest interest rate I've seen was 5.25. That is way too high for me. I have a 2% interest rate right now. Say I'm spoiled. I don't know. Maybe I am, but 2% sounds a hell of a lot better than 5.2. I would say only get a Tesla or even a new car in general, but we're talking about Teslas in specific. Only get a Tesla if you can get about 3.2 interest or lower. I would say 3 or lower, but 3.2 or lower, because 5.2 you're dishing out more money. So then, say you have all these potential savings and all that is great, but if you have a higher interest rate, obviously you're paying more money into that car than what it's actually worth, and you're kind of losing that cost to benefit ratio in your favor because you're paying more in interest, which means you're paying more for that car. So I would say, unless you guys can find a better interest rate than 5.4, and the place I found that number, they're usually pretty good with getting low interest rates. And they said, hey, the lowest we could do right now, and this is across the board, is 5.25. That's the lowest. If you can manage to find something better than that, more power to you. I would say anything 3 and below, go for it. But from what I've seen, you can't find it. So if you can find that, get it. If not, dude, I would say just wait. With the inflation and the economy and all that good stuff, just wait, because it's rough out here in these streets. But let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. I just want to be, as informative as possible, so you guys can go into this with the most information as possible. People have been asking me, what's so great about a Tesla? Should I buy one? I'm looking at the Model Y or the 3 or the X, blah, blah, blah. Hopefully this information was helpful with you guys making your decisions. At least the delivery dates are better now. I know when I was buying mine, they were like months and months out, but it seems like it's about a month and a half out from, the dates now. So that's not bad. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about this, because I think this is like a stalemate time right now. I don't think many people should be buying much stuff just because how the economy is, and everything's just super high right now. Super high. So I would just hold off. That's my opinion. Let me know what you think down in the comments below. As always, I appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next one. As always, peace.